Good evening and welcome. Most respected Chief Guest of the Day, Professor Mrs. Zeeshan Amir, PhD, Director, Ghanshyam Binani Academy of Management Science, Mirzapur, UP, MES Ernakulam District Secretary, Sri Liaquat Ali, HOD, MBA, Dr. Muhammad Sajjad, HOD, MCA, Professor Sharija Assis, my faculty colleagues, and my dear students of MBA and MCA from MES AIMAT. I would like to welcome each and every one of you for this wonderful program, Personal Branding. And we have got a most appropriate person to be the resource person for this program. It's not because she is working as the director of Ghanshyam Binani Academy of Management Science, Mirzapur, but for the versatile way in which she has indulged in so many areas with a thrust on the development of women entrepreneurship, the destitute woman, so on and so forth. It runs pages together if I have to tell, and that's not my job because she will be separately introduced. I'll just touch upon a very few areas which I feel that she is the most appropriate person for a personal branding. She did his master's in chemistry, MBA and PhD from Aligarh Muslim University. And immediately after completing it, she was placed there itself as in the management department of AMU. And she was telling that there was absolutely no age difference between her and the students who were there, which fascinated me the most in her profile is she has established a Saheli, a production unit employing destitute women, and another institute for vocational training and management at Mirzapur. She went to Mirzapur on her marriage only and within a very short period. So what I'm saying is that in personal branding, she herself is an icon. That's why we have thought of introducing her for this program. My request, especially to my students, are branding do take place and personal branding also. Everyone is branded, mind you, knowingly or unknowingly. If you do not plan your brand and if you do not try to build up your brand, you will be branded like that. Whereas in certain other cases, when you deliberately try for it, endeavor it, definitely things like what Zeeshan Amir has created will become possible for each one of my students assembled over here. My repeated request is that we are getting a resource person almost from the northernmost part of India, that is Mirzapur, and she is here to talk on personal branding. So what you should do is that what way you are going to utilize whatever is being deliberated here on your own life, or those of you who would like to create a brand of yourself, you can get your apprehensions clarified from a person who did a lot of work as far as branding is concerned. And one notable thing I would like to touch upon here is that he worked as coordinator in TBN and BK as NGO for the Women Empowerment Project of World Literacy of Canada. So the thing is that if you are determined, things will come in your way. I'm not taking much time before welcoming Ms. Zeeshan Amir. I would like to welcome and put a word of great gratitude to Liaquat Ali sir, Secretary of MES Ernakulam District Committee, who only was instrumental in getting Zeeshan Amir. So as matter of formality, I should welcome the chief guest first. So I, on behalf of MES AIMAT, its management, entire faculty colleagues, and entire students, it's my proud privilege to welcome Mrs. Zeeshan Amir, PhD, to this program. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Now I welcome Dr. A. Muhammad Sajjad, HOD,
No,
Department of MBA.
Anisha, please hold on. I'll come
Sir?
back to you.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
The next person or the most important person for today's program is earlier Khatali sir is very much available with us. Sir, but for your intervention and but for your assistance, this program itself would not have been there. I, on behalf of MES AIMAT family, entire faculty and students, I welcome you, sir, for today's program.
Thank you, sir.
I welcome both my HODs, Dr. Muhammad Sajjad and Professor Sharija Aziz, who have worked day in and day out to make this program happen today the way it is taking place here. And all the faculty members, as a team, we do work, and we are working for the last 10 years because this is the 9th program in consecutively. Because every day, those of you who are in touch with our college would have seen our invitation, wherein stalwarts from different areas have already addressed our students. And last but not the least, our students. I welcome all my dear students for this wonderful program. And one personal friend of mine is also attending today's program, Mr. Krishnan, who has worked with me in my earlier organization. I welcome Mr. Krishnan also for today's program. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Over to Anisha.
Thank you, sir. Now I welcome Dr. A. Muhammad Sajjad, HOD, Department of MBA, MES AIMAT, for the felicitation address. Sir, please.
Our chief guest and resource person for today, Prof.Dr. Zeeshan Amir, respected District Secretary of MES, Mr. Liaquat Ali Khan, our Director, Dr. P. Habib Rahman, HOD, MCA, Professor Sharija, my dear colleagues and my dear students. We are lucky today to have a wonderful resource person for a relevant subject in marketing called personal branding. So a special thanks to Liaquat Ali sir also to bringing to arranging this resource person. So as you know, personal branding, marketing, it's a very popular thing nowadays because personal branding is positioning yourself like a product nowadays. You have to position yourself. It actually it has evolved. She is going, of course, she is going to tell you about that. I'm just giving you a 1 or 2 word introduction. Even though it has evolved in Western countries to um, positioning or marketing the celebrities as well as politicians. Now it has come to India also. It is also helping you in your career also. You can, for a long-term career, you have to position because especially MBAs, you want to become a CEO or MD or chairman or a leader of an organization. So you need personal branding. You have to brand yourself. Then only you can succeed and achieve your success in your life. So I'm not taking much time. On behalf of, I'm very happy because our MBA students, 2 batches, S1 and S3 are there. And S3, especially marketing and international business students are also there. And definitely, it's not for marketing alone. It is for all the students. So I wish you all the very best, and I take this opportunity to thank Madam Zeeshan Amir also for taking and readily accepting this assignment and helping our students. Thank you. Anisha, back to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I humbly welcome Professor Dr. Zeeshan Amir, Director, Ghanshyam Binani Academy of Management Sciences, Mirzapur, UP. Dr. Zeeshan Amir is an alumni of the Alga Muslim University and she secured her PhD title from Alga Muslim University as well. Dr. Zeeshan Amir was the Chief Executive of the Socio-Economic Research and Development Society, Mirzapur, UP. She has also published and presented over 50 papers in reputed journals and national and international conferences. Ma'am, please.
Thank you very much, Ms. Anisha. Your voice is very sweet.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're
Yes,
audible.
Right. Right. So, customary address is necessary, as it happens in any seminar. So, first of all, I would like to thank my classmate who happened to be the roommate of Mr. Liaquat Ali Khan, who introduced me to Liaquat Ali Khan Sahab, and then he proposed to have this kind of a webinar, whereby I could be here to interact with the people like you all. I mean, it's so far, you are in Kerala, and I thank to digitization also, which facilitated us to interact and to know each other. So it's for sure that it is not necessary to move somewhere to know somebody. And this opportunity has come to me also. So I'm thankful to you, Mr. Liaquat Ali Khan Sahab, and I hope you are doing very well nowadays, because I was just going through the website of AIMAT, and I found that a lot of work is being done by your society, So, and, Mr. Habib Rahman Saab has taken the responsibility of AIMAT, and I'm sure that he is promoting it to the zenith of his, reputation. And I don't know much about Muhammad Sajjad, who is HOD MBA, but I've just heard. So probably he is the man of marketing. I don't know much about him. I'm very delighted to meet him also and listen to him also. And I really thank all of you to call me to interact with your students and of course the faculty. It's long back when I conceived this idea, because I was working amongst the women I just worked with a forum, women in leadership. The chairman of this forum is Poonam Barwa. She is Delhi based, very dynamic lady. Somehow I could meet her because when I was nominated for Harvard scholarship, she was the one to recommend me. So in that connection, I could meet her. She was doing the work on women entrepreneur and women representation on board in the bigger companies. And she could take out so many problems related with women. And the biggest problem was that they don't express. They don't make people realize to feel their existence there. That time I conceived this idea, and I, with a specific, direction to the problems of women, I gave this personal branding lecture at many places. Nowadays, if you open your YouTube, you will find so many, blogs and so many, videos where people are talking about the personal branding. But personal branding is not that easy that you just go to any digital platform and you do whatever you are doing. It's not that. It's not that easy. So it's very, very important that before going for personal branding or making yourself as a brand, you must know certain facts. So everybody, it's so common, and it's very apt, and everybody is doing this personal branding. Everybody is believing on personal branding. So what does it mean basically? What is personal branding? So before coming to the different aspects of personal branding, I would like to share my PPT, which is there. So I'll just some time. Now, actually, I'm not very used to of this Google Meet. So it's in the PPT form and it's my file manager. How do I go actually? In sharing screen, it is coming, everything that is. Shall I open my thing, first? Shall I open my PPT first? Anisha, can you guide me in this? Can you hear me?
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
I want to share my screen, and the option which is coming here is whatever is available on my screen that will be visible to you. But I want to go to my file manager, and from there I want to capture this to my PPT. So, shall I open
Could you
the
please?
PPT first?
Yes, ma'am. Just open your PPT first, your slide presentation first.
Okay.
Ma'am, have you opened it?
I have opened it.
Okay, have you? Okay.
It's open.
Yes, ma'am. Click on the presentation, please.
Yes.
It was on the display screen. No, ma'am. Could you please go back? Yes, can you see that presentation there? Yes. MI presentation. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Ma'am, you just did it correct. Can you please go back to the previous step? Yes, ma'am.
Can you see that?
Yes, we can see that.
Okay. But if I open my this thing, Google Meet, this will go away.
Ma'am, could you please wait for a sec? I'll be right back. 1 second. Please wait for 1 second.
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Please select that PPT, ma'am. Then MI PDF.
So that means I'll just tap that to the full screen.
Yeah, ma'am. Then the play button. Then click on the play button, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
And now everybody is able to see that.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes.
It's visible.
Okay. Now,
Yes, it's visible now, madam.
very first slide you are saying here, I'll just discuss the picture of it. You're seeing a cat is looking at the mirror, but the reflection is not of a cat. The reflection is of a lion. This tells a lot of things, you know. I mean, Professor Habib Rahman was telling about me that when I joined Aligarh Muslim University, I could never think of going to the business or the corporate world because I was a science student. I was doing my MSc, and my parents wanted me to be a doctor, but somehow the destiny was something else. So what happened? I wanted to be working because everybody in my family was working, irrespective of the gender, male or female. So I had to do something, and MBA was the very glamorous, you know, very upcoming course there. And I could think that by opting this, probably I will go to the administrative job. I started preparing for my IELTS. But you know, things don't go as you wish many other times, and you don't have the courage also. So I was selected somehow. I was selected there. So I did my MBA. Since it was very glamorous, there wasn't any job opportunity in the smaller cities. I belong to Lucknow, Faizabad. Now it is Ayodhya. And this was out of question to go to Delhi or Bombay to work in a corporate world, working late, coming by metros and all these kind of things. I could never think of it, but still I did it. So that I wanted to make it as a tool for my further studies and further career. Because I could recognize that I have something uh, which I can, you know, I can administer. I have this quality. I was realizing, I don't know whether it was true or not. But, you know, luckily I would say that there was a vacancy and I applied for the lecturership and I got it. And my family was very happy that I could get a lecturership in the Central University so easily. I was enrolled in the PhD program, and at the same time I was looking for IES also. So ultimately I wanted to go into admin job. So when I was selected there, my full focus was on my teaching, although that was not my basic passion, or that was not my basic, choice for the job. But still, since I got it, I did full justice to that. And I continued till I got married, as I've written in my thing. I didn't know, I didn't hear the name of Mirzapur, you know, before my marriage. Since my husband was in the carpet industry, so it wasn't possible for me to take him to some other cities. So as usual, that happens, and I had to come here. But I had to see for the opportunities, and I have to make my existence visible to the people. So I started working for 2-3 months. I started working on my passion, that was organizing women and working and teaching them and training them on the traditional embroidery, what I was interested in, and generating the employment, etc. And gradually, you know, things went on. People started realizing that I have something there in my personality. I'm not boasting, I'm just sharing. It's very minor effort I had, because I was uh, uh, you had to have certain fixed choices and to work on it. So I did that. So gradually, after all ups and downs in the life, you know, I moved ahead, and whatever it is now, at least I could earn the respect and I could contribute to the society where I'm staying in. So before coming to the concept of this particular slide, where the cat was seeing herself as a lion, is it there that the people are also seeing her as a lion? Maybe there are people who is perceiving this cat as mouse. So what is it about? How to go ahead with this? So before coming to take the different tools and importance and, you know, the ways to go for the personal branding, I would like you all to first analyze your own self. I don't know how much time do we have. Can anybody tell me? Is there time limit? Is there any time limit? Am I audible?
Yes, madam. No. Usually we have put it as 1 hour, but you can take as you
We
wish.
can
You can write
relog
down.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Fine, fine. Okay. So first of all, we must know that why this personal branding has come here and what is personal branding. Definitely, you must have read somewhere or discussed somewhere, gone through this kind of different literature. Personal brand refers to how you promote yourself. How do you put yourself? How do you promote yourself? And this promotion is the reflection of your expertise, your experience, your personality, and that you want everyone else to say about you. Whatever experience you have, whatever expertise you have, whatever kind of personality, skill, talent you have, you would like others to see that way. Now, how do they get about it? How do they get? How will they know about your expertise? How would they know about your experience? You have to make them see that. You have to exhibit that. Maybe media. Nowadays, it is social media. Maybe some resource person of a particular city where you have just come in. You may go to, you may join some kind of a club where people start knowing you. Nowadays, this is online. There are so many platforms. So the basic thing is that you are there to make people see you where you are residing, where you are working, where you are interacting. But why somebody should look at you? Why shall I look at you? Why should I conceive you? Why should I perceive you? Why should I take you as you are? That means you have to have something unique. You have to have something different to others. You have to stand alone in the crowd. Why me? Why not other? The other person will ask, why you? Why should I interact with you? That is the question. And that is why it is necessary that we basically know what the personal branding is. It is basically the practicing of marketing people and their careers as brands. You must be knowing the difference between brand, and the product. You know, the brand could be very popular, organization might not. And that is why the personal branding is an ongoing process by which you develop and maintain your reputation, and of course your impression as an individual, as a group, or for that matter, the organization. Nowadays, what happens that the personal branding has become a very important key to your professional success. Success has a different meaning to different people. Because the success always correlate as to how you present yourself to the existing and potential clients or people where you are working. So it is important because the personal brand makes you realize about your own self. It makes you to go to emphasize your strengths, your passions, and to set you apart from everybody else. So that's very important. And that is why nowadays this term is coming this term is coming in a very fast way to touch upon each and every person who wants to have a success in their life. Now, before going to discussing the what are the tools, how do you start your personal branding? I would like to talk to you about this particular slide, that is self-concept. The self-concept is narrated out here along the picture where you are finding a reflection of a cat as man. This is what we believe we are like as a person and what we believe that other people think about us. Generally, what happens that we want that whatever I think about myself, the people also should the same way. There shouldn't be any misconception. There shouldn't be any misunderstanding. There shouldn't be any misperception. I hope you, all the students must be knowing what perception is. Now, this particular self-concept is a bit, it requires a sort of exploration, that is a self-introspection and to know your own self. And what happens in life, we forget our own selves. We forget our own real selves. Many a time we imitate ourselves and put forth that. That will not give success in a consistent fashion. You have to have your real self come out and put forth, exhibited, so that becomes your, whatever you do, whatever field you choose, whatever subject you choose, it becomes a passion. And when you put your 100% in that, you become so successful. So when we talk of the self-concept basically goes two ways. One is the self-esteem and self-image. That's very important to boost your morale. Self-esteem is, definitely how highly we think about our abilities and our own self. How much we think that we can do, how high. There are people, who can say that I can convince any person. You just bring for an admission, I can convince any student to join AIMAT, I can have that kind of guts, and, and sometimes you say that nothing is impossible for me and I've got that kind of a personality. And you are realizing that you can do anything. You're so confident. So I will not negate it. You are realizing your leadership quality. You are realizing that you can convince people. How true that was, it will be judged by the other persons. It will judge by the outcome and the impact you are leaving on others. But at least you have to think of it. At least you have to exhibit that. And that the testing is onwards. And the other part is the self-image. Self-image is how we view ourselves based on the other's reaction to us. If I'm a director, I'm bound by certain protocols. If I behave this way, people will react in a different manner. People would not accept that. So the role position and the role relationship also many a times help you create the self-image, because generally you concentrate on the perception of others. And nowadays, when you go for a very rebellious kind of attitude, people say that I don't care what people say. That's not easy. You cannot ignore all the people because conformity is a must. If you ignore all the time, who will accept you? Where will you go? Where will you live? Where will you promote yourself? So it's very necessary that how your each action is being perceived by others, and how those people are taking you, accepting you, and whether that is the true self or it is compatible to your self-esteem or not. So the closer it is with your self-esteem, the better will be you from inside in a very stable situation, very satisfied situation, and you can go onwards and really you can get the success. So when we talk of the success, is there are many definitions for success. I mean, success is not that how much you earn. As I told you, that it's your own self, it's a real self. That's very important. What do you want to do? So that has to be compatible to the work you go for, to the assignment you go for, or and of course you have to monetize your passion because of the livelihood, etc. Uh, you know, when we analyze ourselves, it's not that we become God. Nobody wants to be a Superman. Nobody wants to be a superwoman. Everybody wants to feel what the person is really like. So ultimately, what is there? You have to focus on your own self. So unless we are aware about our own selves, we will not be able to decide upon our learning style, our motivational factors, our leadership style. You cannot manage your time, the strategy accordingly. So the self-awareness is very important. Self-awareness means to know yourself, that how you are unique. Everybody is unique. It's the only matter of realizing that what makes you unique. It's a USP. Everybody has got USP. The marketing people must be knowing what USP. Everybody has USP. Everybody is unique. But of course, what uniqueness that you have to realize. When you realize that you are unique this way, definitely you can go ahead with that. So that's what written here, helping ourselves to be more aware of who we are and what makes us unique, that allows us to project the image we want people to see. So the most important factor in life is that how do you want others to see you? I'm not promoting the hypocrisy, that from inside you are something else and from outside you are there. It's your real self. In reality, honestly, what exactly you want others to see in you, so that they accept you to promote. And when you promote, they also promote, because unless you are promoted by the market, you cannot get the success. Success is not alone. I mean, you cannot work on your own self. You have to contribute to others. You have to contribute to others too. I mean, Michelle Obama has rightly said that success is not about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in people's life. And of course, the success means having the courage, having the determination, and the will to become the person you believe you were meant to be. Why God has made you, what you are worth of, you have to realize. You must have seen the advertisement of L'Oreal. Hair dye, you are worth it. So the ad is making the women realize that you are not distressed. You are not to be ignored. You are worth it. It's expensive. It's expensive, no doubt, but you are worth it. Your beauty is worth it. So that is there. You have to realize that you have been made by God to believe that you can do something. So that's very important. That's very important to have the horizon of your success, and to see that in the perspective of your own real self. Now, why do people get attracted towards you? Why do people select you? I've just written in this particular slide that they select you based on a preconceived expectation of what you will deliver. For example, Professor Habib Rahman didn't know that how I'm going to give this lecture, what will be the quality, how am I going to interact, because he doesn't know me. So obviously, but it's not that his mind would be, without any feeling about myself. he must be having some idea. So he will withdraw all the conclusion from my, from my CV, or by discussing Mr. Liaquat Ali, and Liaquat Ali is known to Nabil Siddiqui, who happened to be my class fellow in my MSc days. So that way he could know me. So this is, he must have be having some expectation. I don't know at the end of it whether I'll be fulfilling that or not. So it is a preconceived expectation which is very important in the about the person's performance, or how the person is going to give the output, or what will be the outcome of the intervention of that particular person in a particular field or in a particular process. So the greater your ability to use a personal attributes to brand yourself to an expectation of something positive, the more likely you are to drive successful outcomes for your life and career. That's what I've been telling you. That's what I've been telling you basically. So, so we can say that knowing yourself is very important, because it establishes a relationship with you. Whatever is inside you, that establishes a relationship, and the personal and develops a personal brand of your own. So, for example, if you say that I'm working in the organization, so what is the need, of personal branding of my own self there? No. If you are working for an organization, no way it is not right to go for your personal branding or realizing your personal brand. Why? Because you have to be unique in the organization also. You will be better performer. You have to show your best results. You have to get promotion. You have to go on top of it. So there are many aspirations, So those aspirations make you turn to the different efforts by which you establish the uniqueness in you while working in the group or in an organization. So why this happens, that every employee is not known to the management, only few. There must be some uniqueness in the few managers who are very, close to the management. It's not the beautiful face, it's not the handsome personality. It's their work or the way they want to put themselves. It's up to them. That how do they do their personal branding to establish the uniqueness, building a reputation on the things you want to be known for, and then allowing yourself to be known for them. So that means ultimate aim of you will be to create something that conveys a message that can be ultimately monetized. Obviously, if you're working as an assistant manager, then you will realize yourself that I have got this talent, I've got this skill, I've got this knack, and I can really promote myself to show that I can give results which will be very beneficial for the organization. And ultimately, you will be promoted. Obviously, you are monetizing your brand, and that's what we will be doing at any platform. Ultimate aim is that, basically. So by now you must have known that how your uniqueness and your realization about your own self makes you go ahead and forward in your career path. Now, so ultimately it depends upon the outcome, because outcome leaves the impact. So the successful managers generally they go for the concrete outcome, and the concrete outcome comes on the basis of the different set objectives. So you mean to say that we have to go for certain mission and vision, like these statements we go for the organization. So we have to have a personal mission and vision so that we can work on that and give certain outcome and leave certain impact on the people, and add value to the life of others. So what happens in the path of this personal branding, your self-esteem or your emotional intelligence plays a very important role, because empathy is a very important component of the personal branding. Unless you, uh, you know, unless you see others from your own perspective, had you been there, what would have been the situation? You cannot judge the situation, and you cannot play a good role in that situation. So, as I told you, that success doesn't come just living alone or working for your own self. You have to go for branding in such a way that how do you add value to others? And for that matter, I mean, you must have read, how what the SMART goals are in your life. Because unless you set your objectives, you cannot goals. You cannot, go ahead step by step. You will be, diverted. So diversion will not add to your branding. You have to be focused. We'll just go for the different slides to ensure that. So first of all, we will see that what smart objectives you have. So I will not go into the detail of the smart objectives, but the most important component of it is the T, that is time bound. You cannot go on working on yourself for an unlimited time. So you have to fix up the target that by this time I'll be reaching this level of my career, and by the age of so and so I will be reaching this step of my career, etc. Or any other task which you have taken in your life. So so ultimately, what happens that when you realize that there is a time limit in your career, you brand yourself accordingly, realizing your different attributes and different skill and talent. When we talk of the talent and skill, again, sometimes, in the management, the beauty of management is that when we teach, there are so many topics which come in between, which have great meaning in them. So if I talk of talent and skill, you must be knowing that these are the two things which are very used commonly, but they are different. Uh, you know, we are not able to interact with the student, but I'll just tell you, very commonly we say that is a very talented person, it's a very skilled person, and they are two different things. But that means talent is basically you are born with. It's a natural ability. I mean, you can do something without really thinking about it. Ghalib was a poet. He would talk in poetic form. That was the talent. So he had a command and vocabulary, and he would talk. I mean, he could correlate anything in a poetic fashion. So that was a talent. But the skill is, on the other hand, something which is being acquired. And acquiring something means putting a lot of effort in that. So that is why nowadays, I mean, usually long time back it was said that no, everybody cannot be a businessman, everybody cannot be a good industrialist, But nowadays this has gone back. Anybody can be trained, and that is why you are seeing that all MBAs and all that they are having such a novel concepts and startups, etc. They are coming up with so much of solutions to the problems of the society, and they are contributing, adding value. So I further extend that skill means S plus skill. If you want to acquire some kind of uniqueness in you, then you have to realize your own self. S for self. Self-awareness is very important. If you remove S, you will be killed. So if you really want to be skilled, then realize your own self and relate that, associate that with with your with your aspiration which you want to be, so that you can develop uniqueness in you, and that can be portrayed, exhibited in the market, and make you accepted by the market and give us success. So ultimately, I've written this notion after going through a lot of discussion. Success is about the mirror you look into each morning and how you use the reflection you see to shape the life you live. That means when you see, you dress up, you wear a sari, you wear a new pairs of trouser and shirt, and then when you comb your hair, you see the mirror. And depending upon the different thoughts going on in your mind, your whole behavior will be shaped like this. Today, yesterday my boss said this. Today I'm going to give something which will realize him that he was not right. So that way your energy got mobilized, whether negative or positive. So every day we reflect ourselves, every day. So definitely the mirror is that you are seeing your own self. You are trying to analyze yourself every day, that what reality is. Maybe today you realize that I have got 5 attributes, 5 characteristics, 5 skills. But maybe after 6 months of evaluation of your own self, you come up with only one which may make you expert, and that will make you really unique to be accepted by others. Now, since I'm having the audience where majority of the students are there, I would talk about the career management. What is career management? Career management is, as you are seeing here, about developing a promise. And what is the promise? What promise you are going to see? You are going to say, the promise is to create, maintain, improve, and uphold your brand. Many times people come very fast in a particular field and they vanish. What happens? They are not able to sustain. But you take the example of Amitabh Bachchan. What happened to him? He is probably 75, 76 plus. But still, he has made himself so full of energy that if you just turn on your TV, you will find Amitabh Bachchan in every ad and every promotional activity, etc. Why? Because after a lot of struggle, he could create his image. There is a story that he was, rejected by Amin Siani, who was very popular anchor of Binaka Geetmala long back in 60s. I was very young that time, but I still remember. So Amin Siani rejected the voice of Amitabh Bachchan that time. And now you see that because of the voice only, Amitabh Bachchan is gaining or had gained so much of popularity and acceptance in Bollywood industry. But the hats off to him that it's not only that he created that kind of thing, he could maintain that. And, gradually he improved by adapting himself to different kind of roles as demanded by the public. He was initially an angry young man. But after that, he took the role of the deprived parent in Bagman. He did it so well. And result is what? The outcome is what? That still he is upholding that particular image. So whatever, in spite of the fact that he has got a lot of disease, and he was just hit by corona also, but still he is full of energy because he knows that what he is and how people accept him. And the other thing is that adaptability. When he comes in Kaun Banega Crorepati, if he's talking to the Purvanchal people, if he's talking somebody from the eastern part of the UP, etc., he starts talking in that particular tone. So people develop the connectivity, and he becomes more popular. that happens in your career also. Your effort should be this way, as I gave you the example of Amitabh Bachchan. You have to establish that how you are different to the competitor. If you go to the recruiters, he will ask, why should I select you? You must be able to tell that, sir, I can do this. Say, for example, you are doing MBA. Everybody is, studying the same subject, mini projects and life projects and all these. So why not to take Mr. X? Why to take Y? Mr. Y has to justify that. You have to give your uniqueness. Maybe some extra course you have done. For example, apart from MBA, you have done 1 month's, training in digital marketing. Sir, it's not only the basics I have gone through the digital marketing as my main subject. Rather, I've gone through the full-fledged training in digital marketing. So since it is an era of digital marketing, and of course, I have done some course in design thinking also. So it will be very good for your organization if you have. Excuse me. So I hope you are understanding what I'm going to say, that ultimately it will come when you analyze yourself. I have jotted down certain statements out here. Your strengths are assets that help you promote your capabilities, and the first point is that what makes you different, you can project your uniqueness with confidence. When you select one skill from 5 skills, then you have reached to that particular identification of that particular skill after a lot of exercises, and ultimately you could see that this is my strength, and then the confidence will come. I'll share with you one example. There was a person who was very rich, and he was rich in the sense of a lot of empire, a lot of money and industries, etc. And there was a good friend of him who always sit with him, and they would share different things, etc. Then they went apart. They couldn't meet for probably 10 years or so. One day, he had gone to a hotel somewhere in America, in some country, and he found that person singing at the stage. He was shocked. He talked to him after his show and just asked, what had happened to your business? Are you okay? What are you doing? Why are you here? He said, no. I was minting money. I was earning money, But somewhere I was not satisfied with my career. I was not satisfied with my position. The way I was taken up by people, I was not satisfied. I was not enjoying that, in spite of a lot of money with me. But, the moment I realized that, if I sing, because that that person was doing time and often, but because of the busy schedule of his business activities and all, he was not full-fledgedly involved in it. So he said to him that, I thought that why not to go with this and make people happy and smile. That will add value to the life of the people. So I took this career and gave all my industries to somebody else of my family, and is running. But I'm very satisfied and happy, because I can see a smile on others people who come there to relax, So his success, he saw his success in realizing his real self, that he could be a good singer. And by being a good singer, he will be recognized by the people, accepted by the people, and he can reach the zenith of his career. So that is the definition, That's why in the beginning I said that To earn money is not the success. What value you add, and that you have to realize. The sooner you realize, the better sustained presence will be there uh, in the market of yours. Your strengths are assets that help you promote your capability, definitely. And that has to do again and again. And of course, your weakness gives you a blueprint for self-improvement. So everywhere there is a positivity. You must have gone through SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So none of the point discourages you from going to some opting for certain solution or certain career or certain choices. It makes you realize that how you can work on your weaknesses. Weaknesses, everybody has got the weakness, but that weakness, can that weakness be my strength? You must have seen the movie Lagan. In that, when Amir Khan talked to the villagers for making a team to play cricket with English people, one day he saw a person having the spin bowling done very beautifully. How could he do? He saw that his fingers were a bit, they were just not normal. So because of that bent finger, the ball was, he was able to swing the ball in a very beautiful manner. So he could realize that kind of that was weakness. Physical weakness was there in the eyes of others, which he himself couldn't realize because he did not get the opportunity to, 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 to use that in a particular way or a particular form. But the moment the opportunity came and somebody was there to see the weakness and make him realize that this is not a weakness, this is a strength, because this is the opportunity that by playing good, you can make our team win, and the other way that we can get our Lagan waved off. So the motivation was there, and everybody was there in spite of the fact they were having different kind of weaknesses, but those weaknesses were turned into their strength by the team leader, that was Amir Khan. So many times you have your mentors, your teachers, who help you to realize that what is your real self and how your weakness could be improved, and you can go ahead and make yourself yourself very much established in the market, and you can establish your executive presence, basically, and how you can overcome the competition by being unique. Now, before going to the different tools of personal branding, obviously nowadays people are going the digital way for their personal branding, but I had preferred to talk to you in the real sense and in the physical way, that you have to introspect and you have to see your own self. First of all, you have to work on your own self. Then you can use the tools which are available. As I said in the beginning, that the media could be helpful to promote your value and your existence, and your strength and your passion, so that you are accepted by others. So that is why I talked about the self-concept. So if you are very clear of the self-concept, nobody can stop you to realize that in what way you are unique, right? Somebody could say that, the Africans, they are blacks, they are not beautiful, and no, they won't be able to have praise in the civilized world or so. That's all rubbish, That's all rubbish. I mean, it's a parameter people have fixed. It's not the parameter which God has given. And that is all subjective. In different culture, different era, different region, the parameters are different. So we have to have a common parameters to judge everybody, and that is only in the form of the outcome somebody is giving and adding value to the life of the other person. So you see that Michelle Obama became a celebrity and could be a good motivator for all blacks of the world. She's so intelligent, she's a lawyer. She could express herself and made the other person not to express herself. She's an orator. How did she do this? Because she realized that, okay, I'm black, but still I've got so much of qualities in me. She was a better orator than Obama. And you are seeing the result, the way she is going on. So one has to see with respect to her own self. And if you go for realizing yourself, then definitely you can, it's not only branding in the limited domain, rather you can go for the global branding where you can have the identity for your own self, for your organization, for your product, and you can consistently go on, get connected with the people, and of course, as I gave you the example of Amitabh Bachchan, that how easily he adapts the local emotions. So localization is also very important if you want to go for the global branding, if you don't want to limit yourself. So now, how are we going to work on our own selves? What should be there to see in you? So I'm just going to summarize now whatever I have talked to you about self-awareness, self-esteem, self-image, of course, in the light of personal branding. Now I will talk to you that what we should do. Let me take the certain tools, by which we are going to do the branding. Rule number one, it's a fact that image is everything and image building is very important. I'm doing a very good work, but I'm sitting in a corner. Nobody knows me. There is no image of mine. So obviously, I'll be hiding or limiting my talent, my skill, which is not able to add any value to anybody. So we have to have the help of something. So for image building, we do a lot of things, And of course, personal branding is one of them. But otherwise also we do. I've just given you one example. Think about when you purchase your clothes and shoes. How do you purchase your clothes? Marketing people must be knowing that if you go for the buying shirt, the casuals, the formals, all these, styles are there. Sober, fashionable, etc. How do you select that? How do you select the outfit? You select your outfit depending upon your image, not your own image. You feel like that. Say, for example, I'm there. I'm a director. I feel like wearing red, in my chamber, but I cannot because there is an image of a director. There is an image of an age. An image is what? As depending upon the perception of the people. So that becomes a sort of accepted behavior, which is being expected by others from me, right? So if you are going to some marriage, obviously you would like to be very handsome, very beautiful, and you will deck up yourself accordingly. So how you are going to buy these small things will depend upon the image you want to convey to others. You think of the other bigger task in your life. So every step of yours in your career, in your life, must be towards the image building and sustaining that image. Now, the next point, what I've written here, what this means is that as consumer, we buy products and build a liking to brands based on what the products or brands say about us. But how much time do you spend building a liking to yourself so that others can buy into you? I mean, what does it mean? we are generally seeing the things from the point of other person. They would like to they would like to see me in this particular outfit. But the moment we start working our own self, that what I like and how I can make others to like that particular which I like, which becomes a tool for branding. That's very important. The other rule is to know your own self, that is knowing you. I've just told you that how do you analyze yourself? You analyze through SWOT, but I have gone deeper to it. Having an intimate knowledge of yourself is the first and primary element in developing your personal brand. So that is why I just covered all these points. Unless you know yourself, you cannot develop the personal brand and you cannot go for different tools for personal branding. Third rule is creating about you. Know you, create about you. You are never late to realize about your own self. What is written out here, the focus here is to connect how you live to what you want out of life. For example, it means what do you want to be known for? Many times you have to decorate your surroundings. How do you decorate? With your actions, with your movements, with your interventions, and try to see that people know me because of this. I'll just give you one more example of advertisement of, that Innova. Innova was launched in the market to cater to the needs of the higher classes. I'm just talking about the image. How do you create the image? And how do, many times what happens that it becomes just opposite of that, what you think of. So you must, I don't know whether how many of you remember the ad, that somebody was there in Innova driving and he stopped at the red, the red light, the crossing, and somebody comes to him wearing all suit, boot and all, and he brings, a glass of water in a tray and serves. What does it show? It is symbolic of giving respect to the person who is in Innova. That means the person is respectable, rich, influential, leader, etc. But what happened actually in reality? Because of the space and all, that started being used in the taxi market. And ultimately, they had to change that brand, stop that brand, because they never wanted to earn money because it was selling like anything. But they never wanted to have money. They wanted to have an image of that particular product, that brand of that particular product. They wanted to carry that image, positioning, which we call in marketing. Brand positioning, what they wanted, couldn't get. And that is where they stopped and they came in with some other model. So that is image building. So image means that whatever you feel, whatever you try to make, you see that people also use that, take that in the same fashion. So different example here, leaving a lasting impression, what people say about you when you are not in the room, etc. What do you mean by the second sentence? Many times we do some charity. You serve somebody and you say that, when I'll not be here, people will remember that that person helped me in my odd circumstances. So you want a good conversation about yourself when you are not there, and that is the real testing. There will be many people who will praise you in front of you, but if you are praised at the back of you, that is the real image, and you must be very much open to that. You should not blind to that, what people are saying. That's why in the beginning I said that all the time you cannot ignore. There are certain things, which you can cope up with your very radical kind of behavior, but all the time you cannot ignore the group where, or the society where you are looking in, or the organization you are working in. So the real testing of your image is that how the people are taking when you are not around. So we have to create that kind of image which can be sustainable, and that can be sustained only when that is real coming from inside. That's very important. Now, rule 4 is creating value you. Understand the brands you consume and what they say about you. We generally, teach in communication, non-verbal communication, that whatever we uh, uh, carry on as an outfit, or the way we stay, the way we live, the way we move around, the way we come along with different people, it all reflects a particular kind of image. And so understand the brands you consume and what they say about you. So you see different brand logos are there, like the sweaters. I don't remember the name. The very famous brand. So small logo is there, or the T-shirt, the women, or the Color Plus CP is there. That is just to you know just to give a sort of elevated feeling that I'm using the brand. I'm using the unique. Obviously, when you use a unique brand, you have to give the value for it. You have to give the price for it. So that gives a sort of a higher feeling to you, and that way you do. So people view you as a product, and they will select you based on how you make them feel about themselves, or how you help them achieve what they aspire to. Just the same way we work on the brands when we produce in an organization, we adhere to the effort to be put on our own image also. That's very important. The same thing. The only thing is that the product doesn't have any kind of emotions, but we do have. Many times we have a failure to portray ourselves in a real sense. That very much happens in uh, Bollywood industry, or the this kind of a glamorous world where people are for a shorter period of time, they're not able to sustain. But there also you are having the person who is still being accepted as he was accepted probably 30 years back or 40 years back. So, but you have to work on it. You have to work on the sustained basis on that. And most important one is communicating you. Silence is not the option. Silence is not the solution. You need some media, some channel to take your image forward. The other day, I was watching a serial that is coming on a Star or something. That fellow comes from the smaller city to the bigger city, and he was a writer, but nobody accepted that he is a writer because he was belonging to a very poor family. So somehow he got there in Bombay, and he got into the firm of a lady, and somebody made his poem very viral. But when he said that he has written this, nobody accepted that. So then he became very creative and tricky about it. And he said that, okay, I will work as a peer in this company, but I will show my talent, I will show my things, because I know I can do that. And what he started doing is that when we would give the tea, he'll say that in a poetic form, poetic manner. So whenever he would go to any person, he will he will not say in a prose manner, rather in a poetic form. He will say that particular praise or whatever it is. So gradually, probably that will be shown in the serial. he has started creating his image by giving this kind of notion to them through the unusual manner that he is a writer, he can write something, he has got that kind of a knack. So you have to be creative also to see a particular kind of skill in you, talent in you, and then making that out in a accepted manner, in a beautiful manner, so that people get attracted and they find you unique and then start accepting that. Then sixth component, that is social. Nowadays, this is the point basically which people are actually accepting here. I will not go into much of the detail because there are students and people who are better acquainted with all these things. You have the different social media, and nowadays like few years back, when there was a downfall of film industry, then the TV or idiot box, that was gaining a lot of popularity because that was touching each and every household. And nowadays, people want to come on different shows that are being, telecast on the smaller screen. So the era changes, things keep changing, and you have to adopt that because of the acceptability, because you want to be exposed to the people. So nowadays, the strongest medium is the social media. You are just finding that how people, like few days back, you must have seen Baba Ka Dhaba. He was there. He could not earn, the two time meals. And some blogger went over there and he just persuaded him and said that I will make you popular. People will come to help you, and you will be making money because all those two that was the old couple. They would work hard, but they could not sell whatever they were cooking there. And gradually, what happened within times, because of the help given by that particular person on Twitter, on Facebook, on everywhere, and people rushed to that particular shop, extended their help, and with money, with eating and everything, and within days that dhaba became the celebrity. So you have an image, you are a good cook, but media is necessary. You see, I'll go back to the prostitution was very common a few years back rather, and people would say that uh, Nawabs and all of Lucknow and other state, they would send their sons to learn etiquettes, how to sit, how to behave, how to behave in a gathering. So people would. So that was a place, to learn all these kind of things. And the prostitutes were generally singers. You say, Jaddan Bai was there, Begum Akhtar was there from. They were singers. So they were basically the media that can promote something. So you have an example. Shakil Badayuni once, gave his poem to Begum Akhtar when she was traveling in a train. And she didn't know that who gave that paper. And there was a ghazal, "Ay mohabbat tere anjam pe rona aaya." And while sitting in the train, she made the tune of that lyric. And that lyric became so popular, and she could know that Shakil Badayuni was there. And you know that Shakil Badayuni was a great, lyricist in film industry. So that way, the medium is very important. And nowadays, the best media is the social media. So you are seeing that we have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have WhatsApp. LinkedIn is a professional platform where we get connected for different purposes, for jobs, for any kind of consultancy. There are so many things. But it's not only that you are there just for the sake of it, like I am there, But you have to, if you really want to go ahead, if you have such an objective, you have to be very active on LinkedIn. You have to tell each and every activity of a particular area you want to be known for, so that people know that you are there in the market. It's not that once you got your registered, your CV is there, but if you don't have any motive, of going in a particular field or whatever it is, depends upon you. So you have to make use of it, what I mean to say. So you see, I've just written it down here. Your accounts on these social and professional networks are one of the many mediums through which you can build your personal brand. When people decide to follow you, they are investing in your brand because they believe you can add value to their timeline. So obviously, what happens that the social media, many times, one thing more I would like to tell you. Many times people use a lot of social media. That also confuses the people where you want to go. So I would suggest, that you must select one social network and work hard on that. Follow the like-minded people, get following, and become expert. Because to be expert, my personal experience is that to be expert on a particular social media, it's not that easy. It takes a lot of time. Uh, at least, if you are regular in that, at least it will take an year or so. So that's very important. So ultimately, what I want to say that why this personal branding important, because personal branding can lead to, especially for students, I mean to say, or any other person who has got the aspiration of many other kind, in spite of the fact they are basically in some other job presently. But for students, there will be more interviews if they are very active on this platform like LinkedIn, etc. They will get better job offers. They will be getting better promotions, and they can get better partnership, and they can be, they can be perceived as good influencers, and they can be perceived as, you know, uh, as a leader also, because personal branding basically tries to convince the other person. So that means you have the leadership quality in you. That is why again and again you are trying to convince other people that what you are. You have established your uniqueness, and then you want to carry that in front of other person. You want to present that in front of other persons. And ultimate aim is, as I've already been telling you, that ultimate aim is of all these exercises done in a very systematic and in a very real manner is to monetize your personal brand. So I've taken some example, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is, you can read it out here if you can see that how they localized the taste of Coca-Cola and got accepted everywhere in the world. So this is the personal branding of a particular product. Apple has got its own uniqueness. Its security it is quite known for its security system, and doesn't compromise. But of course, it has also taken into account the localized concept in the international market. Then Uber, you can see it's a revolution in the transportation. How they have branded themselves. You can read it out here. So already I think I've taken a lot of time. So these are the examples there. You can have the literature on the internet. Amazon, Apna Amazon. Now they are giving this kind of image to be taken by Indian audience, Apni Dukan, because we are emotional. Indians are emotional. We generally stick to one shop. You have our ancestral jewelers. We have Kirana wala. We have the Marampally wala, peanuts wala. Everybody is very peculiar to our family. We take from there only. We don't go anywhere. So that concept they have taken, that the Indians are like this. They actually become emotionally attached with certain shops, and they develop the relationship. So why not to go for it? So they started giving the caption, Apni Dukan. We can get everything Apni Dukan. So what they are doing, good return policy, timely, delivery, different options given to them. It's all written here. You can see that how best they are doing in their field, defeating to any other online. Uh, when you go for the personalities, personal branding, I've already talked about Michelle Obama, Amitabh Bachchan, Neil Patel. Neil Patel is a digital expert, and Khan sir, it's very interesting. I don't know how many of you have gone through it. He's a recently he's become the YouTuber. Otherwise, he gives the training to the IAS, PCS, and other competitive examination aspirators there and students in Patna. And he has got the app also. He's got the so many topics where the videos are available on YouTube, and his style of presentation is very interesting. He talks in pure Bihari manner, and in Bihar people are quite aspirant about the civil services. So a lot of people, catch on him on with different topics, and he's supposed to be very expert in, the maps, and he has gone through the different type of degrees, but ultimately he has become a teacher. And I would suggest you all to go through those videos on any topic. Nowadays, he's giving on this agricultural law, how easily and conveniently he explains, and that becomes the USP of him. So everybody, I mean, no matter he is from graduated from St. Xavier's or any top shot institute, even internationally, he is accepted in a very easy local language. He makes people understand. So that way, he has made his image, very interesting. Many times, it's very, hilarious also. But he makes you understand the concept and the technicality of any concept. So that way, I would say that the only thing which is required, that everybody has got the unique attribute in him or her, but the only thing is that it has to be shaped, it has to be cut beautifully like a diamond, and then definitely your light will be all around. You will be automatically identified and accepted. So unless you shape yourself, unless you work hard, unless you know yourself, unless you uh, uh, cut yourself, you won't be identified. You won't be coming with the sparkling light. So that's very important, and that is within you. You have to analyze yourself and make your brand, and then you use your tools. Tools are there, but how to use those tools, what exactly you are going to promote, that will give after analyzing your self, your real self. And uh, at the end of it, I would just say that you should have the belief on your own self, that you can do it. When you see you have the positive attitude, having confidence in you, then definitely you will be realizing your own self, and you will be fixing up your priorities, identifying yourself, and then finally promoting that in the market for the acceptance, and go ahead to have the great success in your career. So a quote I have written out here, and I have given a but is getting opened. The depth of your belief and the strength of your conviction determines the power of your personality. So to identify your personality, it's necessary that you know yourself, and you are convinced about yourself. Whatever you are doing, you have to be convinced on your own. There shouldn't be any dilemma. There shouldn't be any confusion. So that is there. And so I would just suggest that the more you believe yourself, the more you are convicted, the more determination you have, the more powerful personality you will possess to go ahead, and definitely you will be excellent, and you will be having a great executive presence in the market. Thank you once again to the organizers for giving me this opportunity. and to interact. If somebody has got some question, I can answer there. Over to Anisha. Can you hear
It
me?
was such an authentic, yes, ma'am. It was such an authentic and enlightening speech on the topic personal branding. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now, if anyone of you have any questions to ask or any clarifications to make, you can do it now. Very well. I take it Dr. Zeeshan Amir's session was so clear and well understood by us all. Thank you so much,
Uh,
ma'am.
okay, I don't know whether they could really imbibe something out of it or not. I just wanted to have some interaction with them, but anyways, uh, now how do I go back to this? Uh, okay, so I'll go back to the meeting itself.
Yes, ma'am. I welcome our student coordinator, Ms. Fatima Shamna, to propose a vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I deem it a great honor and privilege to purpose the vote of thanks in this momentous occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's occasion a resounding success. First and foremost, I thank our guest, Professor Dr. Zeeshan Amir, Director, Ghanshyam Binani Academy of Management Science, for providing such kind of informative webinar. Ma'am, thank you so much. Now, I would like to thank Dr. P. Habib Rahman, Director, MES AIMAT, and Dr. A. Muhammad Sajjad, HOD, Department of MBA, MES AIMAT, for having your valuable presence in today's occasion. Thank you both. And I also want to thank Anisha ma'am for wonderfully carrying this event. Thank you, ma'am. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the students for your great attention in this occasion. Once again, thank you all who are gathered here. Thank you. Thank you so much, listeners.
Thank you, Shamna.